Sup guys, it's Central Boy from TeamCalamity, and this is another video. Again, another Dueling Network deck profile, because I have not got the effort level to get out all the cards that I need to do this profile. I don't think I even have all of them. So, yeah, this is another good deck. There's a theme that I'm doing to these videos. It's tour guideless builds, in case all of you were wondering why I'm profiling like non-tier decks. But um I've just been experimenting with a few decks that a lot of people haven't really given much credit this format, and this deck is actually really up there as one of the underrated ones that can really pack a punch, and one that a lot of people don't really consider at all. So I'll go through the deck. 3 Swap Frog, 2 Treeborn, 1 Ronin. I don't like 3 Treeborn, it gets kind of cloggy. Then 2 Maxi, because I only have 2. DD Crow and a Vela. I would take out the DD Crow for the 3rd Maxi if I had it. Then 3 Caius, 3 Vanity's Fiend, 2 Light and Darkness, and a Riser. And Spirit Reaper, 3 Thunder King, Gauze, 2 Tragodia, and Battle Fader. Then for spells, you got 3 Upstart, 3 Enemy Controller, 2 Soul Exchange, Dark Hole, Reborn, Foolish, Heavy Storm, and Trap Dust Shoot. Then for the extra, you've got Chimera Tech, Formula, Armory Arm, Catastor, Brionac, Black Rose, Gugnir, Stardust, Scrap, Locomotive Argenex, I forgot to take that out, Trishula, and 2 Gachi Gachis, and Mains, and Utopia. Then, for the side, you have double Cyber Dragon, 1 DD Crow, 1 Hino, let's see what his name is, Hino Kagusuchi. I run that for a joke, really, but I like it a lot. I'll talk about it. 2 Snowman Eater, Barrel from a Different Dimension, 2 Creature Swap, 2 MST, 2 Water Art, and 2 Mind Crush. So yeah, I play the deck differently to that of a lot of people, and I honestly think that this way is the most consistent for one thing, and also the better this format. Like, I know that the standard thing for Frog Monarchs is just like put the Frog engine and then chuck in as many Monarchs as like consistently possible, and then just fill the rest. So there'll be things like the second Riser, Dark Dust Spirit, all of that. But I think that the Monarchs that I'm running, or the tribute monsters that I'm running, are really the bare essentials. Like, the reasons why you should play this deck are because of Caius, Vanity's Fiend, Light and Darkness, and Tragodia. Those are really the main reasons why you should run this deck. Obviously Caius is just an absolute beast. You know, removing from play anything, it's just really good. Vanity's Fiend is really good this format because there's so much hyped up special summoning going on. If you get it out, then you can just beat down and win the match. It's really good. At YCS, an Agent player sided it against me, and of course I was playing Sam, so I was just like, oh wow, I lose. But it does hit a lot of decks really hard. Light and Darkness is also really good. If you get it out like in the early game, it just wrecks because it will drain the opponent's resources. If you get out late game, then it can be practically impossible to destroy. So it's just really good. And Riser is also pretty decent because you can create some nice little spin locks and stuff like that. So that's alright, I run the 1 copy. To compensate for not running as many tribute monsters in order to make the deck more consistent, I run monsters that are just really good this format anyway. So 1 Spirit Reaper and 3 Thunder King Ryo. Now, this kind of gives it an anti-meta feel, but it also means that I'm less prone to get hands, just unplayable hands of like all tribute monsters and nothing to back it up, or just no tribute monsters, or just, you know, Frog Monarch players will know those hands very well. This helps against it. Another kind of tech that I run is Upstart Goblin, and I run that in 3, just because like there's nothing else that you really need, and the difference in consistency between like a 37 card deck and a 40 card deck, it sounds negligible, but just having that Upstart in there helps so much. It just thins the deck. It means that you'll get into things faster. get into your Monarchs if you need them, get into your Frogs if you need them. Just pile through the deck, and the 1,000 life points to the opponent is negligible. Like, it never matters at all, so that's good. The rest is basically staples. I run Trap Dust Shoot just because it's so broken. I mean, it should be banned in all honesty. And I don't run the third tree bond because it gets kind of clunky. And I run one fader, just to stop Hup, Dup, and OTK and all of that stuff. I don't know, it's quite useful. Then extra's kind of standard. Again, I forgot to drop the Locomotion Argenex because I used to run Birdman. Talk about the side. 2 Cyber Dragon is staple, really, and it's just really, really good. DD Crow is in case I'm going up against Winds-Ups or Inzectors or plants or whatever. It's just pretty good. Hino Kagusuchi, I'll read what it does here. It's basically a spirit monster, so it can't be special summoned, and it returns to the hand during the end phase as normal, flipped, or flip face up. And when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent must discard all cards in his or her hand during their next draw phase. 1 second. Before they draw. So basically, I like this. Just I side it in for fun. That's basically it. But it can be so amazing because it's easy to drop, and then once you drop it, you just poke your opponent, and suddenly their entire hand is gone. It can just create massive shifts in advantage. So it's pretty fun. If I was going to a proper tournament, I probably wouldn't side it. But it's pretty cool. Barrel from a different dimension is because, you know, DD Crows everywhere and you have to. 2 creature swap is really fun. I used to main it, but space became tighter and I didn't feel that I needed it in the main. But creature swap is cool because, like, against Dark Worlds and stuff, they really need their Grapha. So if you get out like a tree one or something and take their Grapha and then you just beat them down with it, it's pretty fun. You can jack a Zen mains as well. That's always good. So there's plenty of uses for it in a deck filled with, well, not filled with, but it just has its fair share of miniature monsters that you won't feel aggrieved about getting rid of. 2 MST is, because, you know, it's standard. And then 2 Water Art, 2 Mind Crush is something that I do, again, kind of for fun, but it's pretty good because people will side out their MSTs and heavies and all the back row hate if they're good, because obviously it's going to be completely dead against Frog Monarchs. So then you can bring stuff like this in, and this just provides you with an avenue to completely and utterly wreck their hand. So it's interesting. Something that I'm experimenting with in the side. But yeah, this deck is pretty fun, and I like it a lot. And if you haven't got tour guides, or in general, if you're just looking for something a bit different, then give this a go. It's really good. Eccentric Boy out.